Learning and travel, side by side each day. Travel with ease, learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Yeah. With Tabio Don Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace. Now education and travel simple. Travel with peace. Stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with peace. Knowledge needs to stop it. See the world a smarter way. Travel with Open your mind, see the world with ease. Learn as you travel, travel with ease. Travel with ease, stress-free journeys. Your education, travel simplified. Travel with ease, knowledge need discovered. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel, side by side each day. Travel with ease, learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Yeah. With Tabio Don Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace. Now education and travel simple. Travel with ease, stress-free journey. Your education and travel.
What if I told you right now someone with just 50,000 naira or $50 is checking into a beautiful hotel overseas, eating great food and making memories that will last a lifetime? And they didn't even win a lottery. They didn't get a visa lottery. They just knew something most people don't. Stay with me because in the next 60 minutes, we are going to teach you exactly how to do the same thing. Good afternoon and a very welcome to you on Travel with Ease, your travel radio companion on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. I am Abiodun Sampson.
Places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel, side by side each day. Travel with ease, learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Yeah. With Tabio Don Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace. Now education and travel simple. Travel with ease, stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, knowledge needs to stop it. See the world a smarter way. world with ease. Learn as you travel, travel with ease. Travel with ease, just free journey.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is JDN Radio 101.5 FM, the only radio station that is broadcasting Pura. And like I said before, you know, there are phrases you hear almost every single day. And I bet you have said it too. I would love to travel, but I just don't have the money. And I completely understand that feeling. That life is expensive, bills are real. Responsibility don't take a break. And when you look at flight prices, hotel bookings, and visa fees, it can feel like travel is a luxury, not only a certain kind a person can afford. But here is what I've come to discover, and what today's conversation is going to prove to you: that travel is not expensive. Uninformed travel is expensive. And let me say that again, that travel is not expensive. Uninformed travel is expensive. You see the difference between someone who spent 2 million naira on a trip and someone who spent 400,000 naira on the same trip is to the same destination. It is not luck. It is not a miracle. It is simply knowledge, timing, and planning. So, budget travel is one of the fastest growing movements in the world right now. Millions of people, young professionals, students, retirees, even families are discovering that with the right strategies, they can explore beautiful countries, eat great food, stay in comfortable accommodation, and come back home with memories that money cannot buy, all without destroying their savings. And that is what we'll be talking about today on Travel with Ease on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. So I want to tell you to call everyone, because we'll be learning today. We will be seeing those things you need to do before you plan your travel, so you will be able to travel on a budget. It's still Travel with Ease on JDN Radio 101.5 FM.
Open your mind, see the world with ease. Learn as you travel, travel with peace. Oh, travel with peace. Stress-free journeys. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with peace. Knowledge meets discovery. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel side by side each day. Oh, travel with ease. Learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Biodan Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Travel with ease. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Stress-free journeys. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge meets prosperity.
If you're just tuning in, you're right on time. Do not forget that we are live on our social media on Facebook on JDN Radio 101.5 FM and on YouTube JDN Radio 101.5 FM. You want someone to connect anywhere they are, just tell them our website on www.jdnradio1015.com and also on Radio Garden, JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And I'm also live on TikTok as Travel with Ease. Just type Travel with Ease together and you will see me live there and you can be part of the conversation for this afternoon. So for what we will be discussing this afternoon on how to travel on a low budget, there are studies and travel surveys that has consistently shows that budget travelers often report more satisfaction with their trips than high spenders because they are more intentional, they are more adventurous, and more connected to the real culture of the places they visit. Now, what does it really take to travel on a low budget? Before I bring in my guest, what does it really take to travel on a low budget? It comes down to few keys area. Yes, few keys areas. Now, last week, that we discussed the difference between different kind of visa, study, work, and study visa, work visa, and also tourist visa, were the three types of visa that we talked about last week. And there is one important thing we said. We said that it is important that you do your research. And for you to actually travel on a low budget, it comes to those key areas that I want to talk about because it is important that you have your destination of choice. Now, for you picking a destination of choice, and at times it is not every destination that costs the same. There are some countries that stretch your money incredibly far. Choosing wisely is half the battle. You don't have to say that because I'm not that boxed up or I'm not that guided, like they say now, the Gen Zs, they say that I cannot actually travel. So, and also the timing when you book and when you travel can make a difference. It can make a difference from hundreds of thousands of naira on your flights alone. So when you want to travel on a budget, there are some things you must know. And we are still bringing in our travel experts that will be shedding more light on that. So if you have any questions on traveling on a low budget, you want to travel and you've been thinking that for you to even leave the shores of Nigeria, going to an African countries, you've been thinking there are some places you can go on a low budget that if you've already planned everything out and you see that with less than 400,000 naira, you would enjoy yourself, get a good booking, enjoy whatever you have to enjoy. And it's going to be fun because it's something that you've planned already. And that is what this topic is all about, to answer those questions in your mind that you would love to travel, but you don't have enough money. Still, you want to leave the comfort of your zone. You feel that traveling is important, is part of education, is part of something that will orientate you, your mindset and all. Travel does a lot to the human's mind, the human's mindset. You get to see another culture. You get to see people in diverse things that they do, and it will actually shape your mind or take your mind off what you felt is the right thing. And that is why we are having this conversation this afternoon. It's still Travel with Ease on your dial 101.5 FM, JDN Radio. Let's take a moment.
Thousand flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel side by side each day. Oh, travel with ease. Learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Your trusted voice on Abiodan Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Travel with ease. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with peace. Stress-free journeys. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge meets prosperity. See the world is smarter way. From visas and flights to places to.
If you're just tuning in, you're right on time. It's still Travel with Ease on your dial 101.5 FM. And we will still be looking at traveling on a low budget. And I was giving you tips if you want to travel on a low budget before we bring in an expert, because you would have a lot of questions to ask. Yes. The first thing I talked about is you picking your destination of choice. And I said that your destination of choice is important. There are some destinations that would not actually go up all you have in your savings. You will still go, enjoy, have the memories, and still come back. And we also have some destinations that will gop up your money. The most important thing is that you want to travel, so you need to plan it carefully. And the second one I talked about is timing, that when you book and when you travel can make a difference of hundreds of thousands of naira on your flights alone. I'll be shedding more light on that. And the third one is your accommodation strategy. Yes, your accommodation strategy is important. You know, I've been saying that if you want to travel, and the most important thing is that they want to know where you will be staying, even if it's a tourist visa, where you'll be staying. They need to have evidence that you can take care of yourself for the few days that you will be staying in a particular country. So you need to have your accommodation strategy, because there is a whole world beyond 5-star hotels. Yes, there is a whole world beyond 5-star hotel, and much of it is clean, safe, and full of character. Yes, and you will experience it more. Then also the fourth one that we'll be giving you as a tip before we break the highs on low budget is that your daily spending habits on ground, on food, transport, activities. These are where most travelers quietly bleed money without realizing it. At times you might say that being disciplined or being tried to watch everything that you are doing, it's making sure that you don't want to enjoy your life. But if you don't put discipline in all that you do, it might cost you a lot. Though you want to have a lifetime memories, but then discipline is important. Yes, discipline is important for everything. So your daily spending habits on ground is important. The amount you expected to spend per day shouldn't go beyond that, so that your budgets will be right on time. And the next one I will be giving you on is that your mindset, because the truth is, the biggest barrier to budget travel isn't money. No, it is not the money. It is the story we tell ourselves about what travel is supposed to look like. At times when people tell you that when we go somewhere, this is how it's supposed to look like. Who told you? Who wrote that script? I do ask, who wrote the script? You can actually pick a ride from here and decide to go to a resort and just go there and talk for 10 minutes and you are out. You actually traveled. Number one, you've changed your environment. Number two, you've changed your scenery. Number three, you've seen a whole lot of people, different kind of characters that would actually shift your emotions from whatever that you are thinking as at that time. Number four, the journey of you moving from where you are to that place, it's not actually a small journey. You've experienced different kind of people you are not used to. Let's say, for example, you stay around Mobile and you always come over to Joyce B to do one or two things. You do that every day. It's your daily routine. It's now something that you're used to. Now imagine you living there and going to somewhere very far. Let's say today I just want to journey around Ibadan, and you know that in Ibadan you can actually get an accommodation that will take you once it's done, but then it has to be strategically planned, because if you do not plan, that means you're planning to sleep out, which might hurt you at the end of the day. So for you leaving your the comfort of your environment. It's like you're traveling, no matter the amount of time you used. But the most important thing is that you should know that money does not stop you from traveling. It is your mindset. It is the story we tell ourselves that when you travel, you're supposed to spend 1 week. When you travel, you're supposed to get gifts for everyone. When you travel, you're supposed to take pictures. We know that we take that for memories. When you try, we tell ourselves, we put ourselves on an edge that at the end of the day, we start questioning. I've spent so much. I've done a whole lot of things. But if you are on a budget, no one is going to hold you to that. That's just the most important thing. So if you travel and you are able to give people something, you've actually done a lot, because it's not actually easy to say, okay, I'm planning and I want to buy gifts for hundreds of people. It's still going to be on your budget. Do you understand that? Let's take a moment to still travel with ease, and we are talking about how you can travel on a low budget.
Open your mind, see the world with ease. Learn as you travel, travel with ease. Travel with ease, stress-free journeys. Your education, travel simplified. Travel with ease, knowledge meet discover. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel, side by side each day. Travel with ease, plan it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Yeah. With Tabio Don Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace. Now education and travel simple. Travel with ease, stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease, knowledge needs to story. See the world a smarter way. With Tabio Don Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace. Now education and travel simple. Travel with ease.
And so today we are going to break down every single one of these areas practically, honestly, and in a way that you can act on from today. So because whether you earn a salary or you own a small business or you are still in school, there is a version of travel that is designed for you. And I just have the right person to walk us through it right now. So I will be bringing in our guest for this afternoon. As you know him, Mr. Ola Emirad. And I will be asking him questions that I think you are actually thinking in your mind on what is this traveling on a budget? What is it all about? So stay with me as I welcome Mr. Ola Emirad. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thanks for having me once again.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us this afternoon on the program. And as you know that our topic this afternoon is on how to travel on a low budget, right?
Good to be here once again.
Okay, so I will go straight to the point. I want to ask, what does budget travel actually means to you, a travel expert?
Yeah, basically, if you're going to be using that terms, it means you are budgeting for your trip. And what do we mean budgeting? I'm still using the same word, budget. So it means you're just planning for your trips with the most important amount of money that you need for your trip to be successful. So I will say this is what it means to budget for your trip. You having the very amount of money that you need intactly available for the trip. So that's what it means to budget for it.
Okay. So it does not mean that someone is trying to, when you tell people you are on a budget, they think you're suffering.
Mm.
They think you are
No, it might.
being you are being stingy to
No, it might.
yourself.
It
They
might.
feel
It might not just. It might not just. It might not be that. You cannot just be extravagant on what you can use the very little amount of money to cover, just because you're trying to show you have a lot, and then you just want to throw money in there. So it does not make any sense. It's not economically wise to just spend money because you have it. You spend because it is important to spend. So if you are going to be spending because it's important to spend for a particular thing, you should spend the very amount that is most important, that is most needed for the very important thing you need to use it for. So that's what it means to be spending wisely when it comes to your trip. There are some things you just cannot reduce when it comes to trip. You cannot work on it. You cannot try to adjust the prices, and these are the most important thing when it comes to travel. So funny enough, people have been spending too much of money when trying to plan for their trip because of their lack of information, or because of their lack of intention to go through what is necessary to read and study on their own. So this has cost a whole lot of people lump sum of money, which never come back to them. You just go on a waste, and sometimes they don't even get to make the trip. So because of lack of information or lack of intention, to make their research on their own. So this is why you need to work on budget. You need to work on a particular budget when you're planning to travel.
okay. So there is this particular myth.
Hello.
Hello, are you with me?
Yeah.
There is this particular myth that people are saying. The biggest misconception
Yes,
people.
I'm with you.
Okay, can you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay,
correctly.
yes, I said that I'm trying to break down a myth that people think about traveling.
Mm-hmm.
They have these biggest misconception people have that traveling on a low budget. What are your own that we can let people know? Because some people feel that because they don't have enough money, they cannot travel. And even saying on a low budget means they will subject themselves to some inhumane treatment that is not necessary for them.
Yeah, generally, traveling should not even be luxury. It should be necessary. People should stop seeing it as luxury. So you would know exactly what you are doing if you're about to travel. Number one, you don't travel because you just want to travel because others are traveling. You want to travel because it is important you travel. You don't just carry your bag and zoom without you end up regretting why you leave your country in the first place. So you don't just travel aimlessly. You must be certain you need to travel. If you're a business person and you've been buying locally, you feel it's not favoring you enough, there's a need for you to travel in this case. If you're a student and you feel there is too much of delay where you're studying and you need to change environment to where you can get it done in a very short time, why not? You should travel. It's important you travel at that point. So there are a lot of reasons why people should travel. You don't just pack your bag one day and say, oh, I'm relocating to Canada, I'm relocating to China. Even if you want to do that at that, you still can do it on a budget. If you are able to know what the information that is required. This thing does not really cost much. It shouldn't cost much, ideally. I mean, it shouldn't be costing you into millions if you're actually prepared to travel. You shouldn't be getting into millions. However, it should get to millions if you're using an agent, if you're using a travel consultant who is willing to do what you are not willing to do for yourself. I mean, they will pay their own bills. They will pay for the internet they are using for you and all that. This is why you spend a whole lot of money you should not be spending because you've refused to do the study on your own.
Hmm.
If I tell you that to go to Canada should not cost you up to 500,000 naira, you'll be shocked. And then people will have to pay up to millions, or some people even pay up to the tune of 5 million and more to go to Canada from Nigeria. So which is not supposed to be. You might not even be spending more than 500,000 if you have all the necessary documents. Why should you spend more than 500,000 when ideally the visa fee is just $100? I mean, 100, less than 100 USD. This is 100 Canadian dollars, you know. So you don't, Canada is not taking any other money from you except for the biometrics fee, which you are going to be paying at the VFS, which is about 85 or so, 85 Canadian dollars. So put all this together, it's still not up to $200. So where is the millions coming from? So I used to tell people some things. When you're about to travel, ask question. When somebody says deposit 500,000, deposit 1 million naira, you should ask, what am I depositing for? You should ask, you should get information. Go to the website, go to the country website you're about to visit, study. Everything you need to know about travels is right there. You need to just read. You need to, except if you're going on a work visa. And then if you're going on a work visa, is another thing entirely. You may need to start from talking to the company, submitting your CV, getting interviewed, and all. But even before, what pisses me off a whole lot of time is, even when they start the job, you will see all these people telling you to pay millions of naira before they get started. As if that money is not paid, job cannot be done. Your job. So it's your fault. You people rushing to think, and at the end of the day, you come out to say they scammed you.
Okay, all right.
This is what we hear here and there. I
Yeah.
was scammed. I paid this amount, no visa was issued, and then the money is not refunded. So,
All right. So now the first myth that I think people do have, and they don't
can you
get
hear
to.
me?
Okay, that when you tell them that they can travel on a low budget, some people think that you would get to stay in a dirty rooms, you get to eat bad foods, and you get to stay in unsafe area. And those things are absolutely not true. What do you have to say to that? Hello?
Yes, it's boils down to your planning. When I say you need to plan, you need to bend your head. Even when somebody assists you in doing, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm with you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello,
You're loud and clear.
are you getting me?
With Abiod and Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. On JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Every with peace. Now education and travel simple. Travel with ease. Stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge needs to story. See the world a smarter way. Open your mind, see the world with ease. Learn as you travel, travel with peace. Oh, travel with peace. Stress-free journeys. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge meets discovery. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know.
All right, welcome back. I'm sorry for that breaking transmission, and we'll connect back. Do not worry. And I still have a whole lot of questions for you this afternoon on travel with ease, on the topic traveling on a low budget. And you will be there at home thinking that how can I be part of this? I have questions I want to ask. Do not worry, I will be opening the studio lines right now by you dialing 070 48001015 and 08022102163. 08022102163 is the number to call to be part of the conversation this afternoon. And also you can send a WhatsApp message to 091-320-69135. 091-320-69135. And we are still talking about traveling on a budget. So if you are just tuning in right now, you are right on time. And before we lose contact with our guests this afternoon, I was asking him that what does budget travel actually means. And he went ahead to say it means you've been intentional with every naira or dollar that you have or you want to spend on your trip. And this is not all about you suffering, because some people, when you tell them you are working on a budget, they see you like you are not taking care of yourself. You are maltreating yourself. And when people start bringing in that kind of mindset, it's all about manipulating you that just take care of yourself. You have this money. But the most important thing is that when you spend more than what you have, what is going to happen? You're going to break down and you won't see anyone to help you out, and you might actually regret the journey. So he said that you have to be intentional. So if you are on a budget with your traveling and expenses, you should know that it's not about suffering, it is about spending wisely. Yes. And then so you can travel more often and still have an incredible experience if you plan everything wisely. And with what he was saying, he said it's just that we don't want to sit down and read every of the information that is needed. We want someone to do that for us. And before then, I asked him also about the myths that people have about traveling, that they have this biggest misconception that if you are traveling on a low budget, doesn't mean that this person would have a dirty room to sleep, bad food, and unsafe areas. And his first response is just that if the planning is wrong, it might happen. But if the planning is not wrong, you might get a good and a safe place to stay. From what he said, that is all I could just pick out for you. So if you have any questions regarding the topic, how to travel on a low budget, how to do some things on your own and still have a memorable journey. And like I said before that, there is always a travel that is designed for everyone depending on your budget. So now sit down and think and see, which destination do I wish to go? Then you keep planning towards it. And when am I expected to be at this destination? What am I expected to do? And all of that. By the time you sit down and walk through everything with your budget, you'll find out that you can make a memorable journey with a great experience. And like I said before that, when I did a survey, I found out that people that actually plan their trip, yes, are planning well, they enjoy more of their traveling because it is all planned. They know where they are to be. So when you have a rushed planning or a rush, something that you are not informed before, you might spend higher than expected. You might spend higher than expected. So the most important thing is that knowing where and how, the timing, your mindset that you travel. Anybody that travels now, anybody that sits there, what did you bring for me is the next question. I don't know who originated that, because I believe someone that traveled has actually spent a whole lot of money. I don't know, maybe that is your mindset. I don't know. But I just feel that people do not actually sympathize with how much this person has spent going and also coming, doing what he or she needs to do in that particular destination, and coming back. It's draining. Yes, I was having a conversation with a sister, and she was saying that you traveled, and the only thing you brought for me is a chocolate. And this person paused, and I was like, that I actually bought or bring a chocolate for you. I'm being generous. That, do you know how much that chocolate, do you know how much it cost? And there was a pause. And he said, okay, maybe when you will be traveling, I will see your experience and see if you will be able to even afford a chocolate for me. Now, that is someone that has budget that when I'm coming, it's not necessary I buy for the whole family. At least a pack of chocolates should be able to, go around everyone and you have the feel that I travel. But the mindset everyone has is when you travel, you should buy me a sneakers or dress and all of that. And if you sit down and calculating for the person that traveled, buying things for 200 people, I'm trying to use it to let you see that when people travel and they give you something, they actually went very far to do that because it is not actually easy. It is not actually easy. So it's still Travel with Ease on JDN Radio 101.5 FM, and we are still talking about traveling on a low budget. When I come back, we'll be able to reconnect back to our travel expert and ask their questions. And the studio line is still open for you to be part of the conversation on 07048 001015 and 08022102163. And do not forget that you can drop your comments on Facebook on JDN Radio 101.5 FM, on YouTube JDN Radio 101.5 FM, and you can join us on our website on www.jdnradio1015.com, and also on our radio garden JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And I'm on TikTok as Travel with His. Let's take a moment.
Open your mind, see the world with ease. Learn it.
Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Moses, calling from Mokola.
Okay, Mr. Moses from Mokola. Yes. I'm with you.
Please, I want to ask a question. It's simple that I don't know whether the agent is not speaking again or you are the one that is not asking questions.
No, I will ask the questions.
What is the Association of Travel Agencies doing in regards to exorbitant prices that they normally collect from clients? That is my question. Are they doing as if they don't know that this kind of exorbitant prices are being asked from clients?
Travel Agency Association?
Yes. I know they will have.
Okay.
That's my question.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Moses.
Learn as you travel, travel with peace. Oh, travel with peace. Stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge meets discovery. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel side by side each day. Oh, travel with ease. Learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Day or night. Your trusted voice on radio. Biodan Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on JDN Radio 10.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moses, for that call. Once we are able once the network is through, we'll bring back the expert. But if you are unable to connect with him, as the network is actually acting up at this moment. Yes. And there are some things I have ready, which are the misconception that many budget travelers actually have richer experience than luxury travelers because they go deeper into local culture. Yes. And another big one that I want him to actually explain is about needing a lot of money saved before you can travel at all. And he said something which is most important, that with the right planning, you can take a meaningful trip on a surprisingly small amount. Yes. And there are still some practical steps if you want to plan a trip that we are going to be discussing on here for you. So you know that if you want to travel with a little budget, you can actually leave the comfort of your zone and experience something beautiful for yourself. So if you have any questions, you can do well to drop them on Facebook. And if you are not on Facebook, you can also, yes, you can send it to a WhatsApp message on 091-320-69135. 091-320-69135 is the number for you to drop your messages. Yes, it's the number to drop your messages. You still travel with ease on JDN Radio 101.5 FM.
Open your mind, see the world with ease. Learn as you travel, travel with peace. Oh, travel with peace. Stress-free journey. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Knowledge makes you small free. See the world the smarter way. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel side by side each day. Oh, travel with ease. Learn it right. Education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. Day or night.
Alrighty, if you're just tuning in, it's still Travel with Ease on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Do not worry because we are almost back here and everything will be answered.
With Abiodun Samson on the mic. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Travel with ease. Your education and travel simplified. Travel with ease. From visas and flights to places to go. Books that teach you all you should know. We read, review, and guide your way. Learning and travel side by side each day. Oh, travel with ease. Learn it.
All right, welcome back, Mr. Olahemirat. When you were away, there is a question that we have. Are you with me? Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Okay, caller, Mr. Moses called in and he
Yes,
said,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, so he made mention of, do we have travel agency association? And he said, why are they not treating this issue of high charges on travel packages for people?
Yes, there are travel associations.
Okay.
There are travel associations, but they are not interested in trying to control the prices. Nobody is interested in all this. But of course, there are travel associations.
There are travel
You
association.
anyone can charge however they like, provided their client or candidate are willing to pay them. I'm never having a problem with that. If you are willing to pay them as much as they charge you, yes. If your candidate are willing to pay you as much as you charge, is fine. But my job here today is just to educate people that the difference between you and the consultants is the information you don't have. They
Okay.
have the information you don't have. And these informations are not falling from here. Where they are getting it is still from the same website you're going to be applying from. So if you are able to study on your own, you can do a whole lot. You can help yourself from reducing the prices, or the money you are going to be spending in the long run. So this is what you can do for yourself. If you intend to visit any country, make your research. Just like when you were in school and you are meant to make a research about a particular topic. So you can also reach out to people who you feel they are expert or who have done it par experience, and then ask
Okay.
them one or two things you need to know. So this will help you. So you stay away from spending money unnecessarily. So these are the things I think should be done. But however, telling people to reduce prices might not work because it's an individual thing. It's an individual
Okay.
thing.
It's an individual thing.
Mm.
So, Mr. Moses, you have your answer there. Now, before our time is far spent, that for someone who has never traveled on a budget before, where does the journey begins?
Mm.
What is step one of what this person should do? Someone that has never traveled
Then,
and this person is planning to travel on a budget. What is the first step to take?
oh, one thing you should do as a person who want to travel on a budget is
And traveling for
first
the first time.
know where you wanted to go and why you wanted to go where you were going to.
Okay.
This will help you not to waste money because just imagine you are going to be going to study and you have been applying on the page where you should be applying for visiting. I mean, you are applying on the page of visitor where you're supposed to be and instead of applying on the page of the students. So all these will make you waste money because there is no room for excuse when it comes to visa application.
Hmm.
You're going to get refused and your money is gone. No refund. They don't refund it. I mean, the consulars do not refund the money that is paid for visa fee. Take note of that. Both visa fee or possibly what's it called the fee that you pay at VFS where you've gone for your capturing. It depends on whatever application you are running at the time. So my point is they don't refund visa fee. So if you're going to be applying, take time to study first. At least take time to put your document together first. You know. So this is it. What I'm allowed to be talking about here are legitimate travelers. I'm not going to be speaking about those who don't have what they need to put together. So maybe this is where a
Okay.
lot of people have to spend some money. That is not meant to be spent. This way you cannot work on a budget. This way you cannot work on a budget. This way you cannot work to put together. So
All right.
that's it.
Okay, so thank you for that. We'll have to visit this next week because there is a whole lot of questions here that we were unable to answer. And we just have 2 minutes to leave the program. So thank you so much for having us and with coupled with the network and everything. So I think you'll be well and I think the network will be in favor of us by next week. All right. Thank you so much for having you on the program. All right, that is it from Mr. Ola. He said that there are some things he still needs to explain. There are some things he needs to explain on the people that have been traveling, and I know you are thinking that what is that? But then we are still going to explain further on that because there are still some questions we need to know. Step by step, in you traveling on a budget, we've not even gotten into that. And a travel, low budget travel for a student or any type, I know you are thinking and you're waiting, but time is no longer on our side. And we'll be calling it a wrap on the program this afternoon on Travel with Ease on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. And I want to say a special thanks to everyone that has been part of this program this afternoon, from Yeye BC Duro, Sharo to Joy, Akinlolu and Haishat Oyedele with Olabode Makinwa, and also my studio manager, Olamide FAWEMIMO, to the studio transmitter, Big Ben Fadipe and Kayode Olawi, and those that make it possible to see us on all our socials, from Abib to Samuel and Emmanuel, and also Deborah and Olatunde. We say a very big thank you, and to our callers and everyone that has been listening, picking one or two things, we say we appreciate you. By next week, everything will be coupled together, and every of your questions, you can just send them to WhatsApp on 091 320 69135 091 320 69135, and all will be answered by next week. I remain Abiodo Samson, and do not forget, this is your travel companion on radio, only on JDN Radio 101.5 FM. Bye.
With Abiodo Samson on the mic, every Wednesday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m.